You know, I live in a pretty bad area. Being a single income minimum wage household, we could barely afford to live here, even though it's the cheapest option available around in the area. But still, the place is run down as hell. The worst is the plumbing for sure. We have the toilets overflow or get clogged pretty often. Sometimes the water pressure is very low. It can be considered not much more than a trickle. And very often, the sink gets clogged. They have old pipes, the kind that made the house groan at night, where you could hear the upstairs neighbor flush a toilet or use the dishwasher. I've lived here long enough to get used to it. Used to twisting and plunging and pulling up clumps of hair and soap-scummed gunk. Normally a few tugs, some drain cleaner, and it would clear. Not this time. It's been progressively getting worse over the past few days, so I have to do it now. I leaned over the sink, gripping the edge, staring at the standing water, slick and murky. It stank faintly of rot and mildew. I tried the plunger again. Hard rhythmic thrusts, sending dull vibrations through the porcelain. The water quivered, but it didn't move. I heard a screech. Not the groan of pipes or the suction of water shifting, but something sharper and close. I froze, the plunger still in my hands. Then a thump, a dull knock from inside the drain. I swallowed hard. The hair, that had to be it. A clog so thick it was blocking the whole thing up. I had to clear it ASAP. I grabbed the drain snake and forced it down, twisting and coiling, feeling resistance. Then I pulled. A hairball surfaced, fat and tangled. It slopped against the side of the sink with a wet slap. I gagged but reached in, pulling it free. More came, thick black wads of it. My girlfriend's hair, obviously. It's long and dark just like hers. You need to be more careful, I muttered under my breath. I need to get a damn strainer. This is disgusting. I yanked another out, then another. They piled up beside me. Damp clumps of human shedding, limp like drowned spiders. The next one felt heavier, thicker, something solid. I unwound it slowly, my fingers slick with drain slime, and saw a tooth embedded in the tangle of hair. It was white, it looked human, and it was whole. A shudder ran through me as I struggled to maintain my composure. I was ready to retch. I set it aside with the rest, my stomach churning, and reached for another. Tiny crescent-shaped pieces of something hard. It looked like clipped fingernails. I jerked my hand away, bile rising in my throat. I'd had enough. I'm ready to stop this and just call the building maintenance to come and do this. Even though I'm capable of doing it, I'm thoroughly disgusted now. While I was deep in thought, I didn't notice anything else around me. I should have been paying more attention, though. Something wet squirmed against my wrist. I turned, heart hammering. The pile, the hairballs were shifting, pulsing, moving. They dragged themselves little by little across the floor, black stringy tendrils writhing like feelers, like insect legs. One of them reared up, then they came for me. I screamed. They skittered up my arms, cold and slick, forcing their way against my skin. I batted at them, but they were fast. They moved like octopus across my floor and onto my arms. One slithered up my wrist, wrapped itself around my fingers like a living bracelet. Another latched onto my shoulder, pulsing, stretching its damp tendrils, seeking. Then they pushed inside me, through my nose, my mouth, my ears. I gagged, choked, staggered backwards, clawing at my face. I could feel them moving, winding their way down my throat, curling in my sinuses, threading through my skull like roots. I crashed into the bathroom door and threw myself out into the hallway. Jesus Christ, I sobbed, scraping at my tongue. My skin, my insides. Footsteps. She came running. My girlfriend. She grabbed my arms, looking me over, eyes wide with concern. Babe, what happened? What's wrong? I tried to speak, but only managed to strangle choke. I pointed wildly at the bathroom. She glanced just past me, frowning. I'll check. Just Just breathe, okay? I shook my head furiously, but she was already walking in. I followed. I had to stop her. I had to warn her. But the words caught in my throat as I looked at her. She was standing by the sink, peering down, unconcerned. See, she said, turning back to me. It's just a drain issue, nothing to freak out about. She smiled, and as she did, I saw strands protruding from her ears, long black hair slipping out like creeping vines, curling, moving. I staggered backwards. She took a step towards me. Come here, she murmured, voice thick and strange. I'll show you. It's okay. Her mouth opened wider. There were hairs inside her mouth as well that writhed and undulated, slow and fluid like seagrass shifting with the tide. My stomach dropped. She smiled again, a knowing, hungry smile. I turned and ran, and behind me I heard her call my name, soft and gentle. But her voice sounded wrong, like there was something else inside it, speaking along with her. Stay here with us. There's nowhere to go. We're already a part of you now.